hear that cried. Every headline's written in sweat. One wrong move, that's a bet you regret. This is the Rotz Report. Calling in when the kings fall short. Wrestling pedigree paid in scars. Climb that rope, I'm grabbing stars. Rotz Report. Truth is harder than a steel cage door. I'm the chapter you can't destroy. Rotz Report.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Rotz Report. Your co-host Matty, and obviously with me as usual is the Ohio showstopper, Christopher Ross. How are you, sir?
I am doing good, and this is our special episode. We're going to be talking about the unforeseen circumstances that happened last night with WWE and releasing talent due to TKO. We'll be talking about the list, and always say yeah to NoDQ.com and follow Wrestling Pedigree on all social media platforms.
Well, you say this kind of things, but it happens every year. It's for a wrestling fan. Obviously, it's not very nice. Obviously, with as the employee, it's definitely not freaking nice. But unfortunately, every year around this time, they do the releases, whether it's WWE releasing or the contract not be renewed, and then just leave. Um, Apparently, according to reports that we've read and listened, and I think what Sanea Vega put on her stream was they received from a phone call from TKO and not Stamford, Connecticut, where obviously WWE is. So that was kind of a bit of a shock for wrestling fans. But let's get into this. It's unfortunately it's quite a big list. A lot of it is from NXT. Some of them. Luca Crufisnio, Drew London, Malik Blade, Chris Island, Tyreek, Tyson, Serena Linton, and Tyra May Steele are from the NXT. I was shocked about the Tyra May Steele because she was part of the LFG. Were you surprised with that one?
I was very surprised, and I she won season 1 of LFG or season it was season 1
Season
of,
one.
and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't even watch LFG because that will be too much wrestling for me to handle. So I'm very shocked about it, but hey, it is what it is. And hopefully, with these group of talent from NXT that got released, their contract is possibly 30 days.
Yeah.
So in 30 days, they could work whatever. They could go to the Indies, they could go to AEW, they can go to TNA. Whatever they do, they're just going to have to work their butts off and just reinvent themselves and just be stronger day by day.
Absolutely. I am a massive fan of like Chris Island and Malik Blade and Luca. I really love this. I love Luca in the family. So it's a shock for that, but I look forward to what they're gonna be like in the um indies, and I kind of really want Tyra to head over to UK. I think if they could put her on Pro Eve wrestling, I think that'd be brilliant. I think there's a market there for that's for sure.
And sorry to cut you off, there's also NWA. That's another wrestling promotion out there.
Oh yeah, it can't be NWA. So let's get into like the main roster. There's a big freaking list on this one. Let's start with Alba Fire. Are you surprised of the release?
I'm very surprised because she was she was actively on WWE television with Chelsea Green, Piper Nivens with the Secret Service, and also an honorary Secret Service member, All Ego Ethan Page. I'm very surprised about her. And yeah, she was a former tag team champions with Isla Dawn with Unholy Union. And then she was tag team champions with with Piper Nivens with Secret Service. And it just sucks. And I saw her tweet that she was formerly known as Kaylee Ray.
Yeah.
So I think she's gonna go back being Kaylee Ray wherever she goes. And I have a gut feeling if she would go anywhere else, I could see her going to AEW, and they could pair her and Dawn back up together and build the tag team division over in AEW, or bring her to TNA and be a knockouts division.
Wherever they put Kay, she is one of the best British women's wrestlers of like for many years. I watched her in ICW. I watched her on all the UK indies, being one of the audience members for NXT UK. A lot of the time, seeing her as a 900 plus women's NXT UK champion. Kay can wrestle anyone, and I do blame her. Like the creative for Kay, I love the Secret Service, but they didn't use her as much as they could. They could have not be fun. They could have gone full John Wick on Alba Fire's character, and that would have made sense because she is that badass. But on the selfish reasons, I would love to see her back in the UK and going on that circuit and hitting Rev Pro, Progress, Pro Wrestling EU. It would have been freaking awesome to see her doing those. But yeah, I'm going to miss her. I'm really going to miss her in the Secret Service because Chelsea's on her own now. Piper is still under medical, so it's yeah. I think WWE messed up there, in my opinion. They really messed up. Another one for you, Chris, which this one really pissed me off. This is kind of like the what happened before. Zoe Stark. She was injured for 9 months. She comes back. She was apparently cleared to wrestle, and they released her. What's your take on that one?
I'm gonna tell you, she got cleared to compete, and then TKO decided we're releasing you. And this is the thing: if they didn't have nothing for her, then yeah, just go and release her. But if you had plans for her, then use her. She could have been a force to be reckoning with in the mid card division, or maybe even going after a women's championship down the road. But this sucks that Zoe Stark got cleared and then immediately they release her. And it just sucks.
It does suck, and it does remind me of Luke Mendez, Rich Holland. He got released exactly kind of the same way. He was injured, and then WWE just said let go. But yeah, I met Zoe. She's one of the nicest people I've met. She's like, I was nervous about meeting particular wrestlers, and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" So she calmed my nerves down. She's one of the nicest ones, and unfortunate accident for her that she got injured. But before that, her and Sonya Deville, they were kicking ass. well, I'm going to say this again. WWE missed the spot there where they could have done a really good badass. Like you could put her. I could have put her in somewhat like Fatal Influence where she would have done pretty well in that.
And you also forgot to mention she was with Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler and Pure Fusion Collective.
Yeah, and obviously the Shayna left and Zoe was there on her end, but it's yeah, it I think where fans get really pissed off with the releases is because they know how talented the wrestlers are. They know what we think they could bring to the table. So when that happens, we get really pissed off with what people say the Fed. So yeah, when it comes to Zoe Stark, there's a lot of pissed offness because she deserves a chance to prove herself and come back. I think she would if they brought her back, they would try to get my words out here, but if they brought her back and she was clear to wrestle, I think she could have gone on to be at least US champion or an Intercontinental champion, have a great run, and then could have see where she goes there. Because if you look at the US title roster a little bit on the mid card, there's not much there. They brought Tiffany down. I think Julia's going up to the main. So who else could you get to go for the US title?
There's really not much over on Friday Night SmackDown that you could really do. There's like BFAP, there's Michan, there's Jordan Grace, there's Chelsea Green.
But then you need people to go up to the WWE title, so to face Rhea Ripley, like they're doing for Julia now, and then you got Jade Cargill, then you got Fatal Influence now, but the Fatal Influence of the other two are going to go for the tag titles. So it's and then all the best kind of single wrestlers are in the tag division because they limited it so much. They'll have to split up people like Bliss and Flair and Lyra and Bailey. They'll have to because the mid card ranking is thin as suck. Now this one didn't shock me as much, but I love watching him, and that was Andre Chase. What about you, Ross?
With Andre Chase, I always enjoy his segments like in the classroom and always teaching everybody a teachable lesson and also cussing at them. that was hilarious. And then also when he's in the ring,
I loved it.
Stomping and says, "Give me a C, give me an H, HASE. What that spell? Chase you." That was hilarious. And I thought Chase U had something, and they could have done something on the main roster with Chase University. You could have Chase University interact with the New Day. That would have been pretty good segments there, but it was a missed opportunity. And with Andre Chase, I haven't seen him in a long time, so he wasn't even doing much to begin with.
Yeah, I think since Yuri went to Birthright, I think they dissolved a lot of Chase U, and I'm a massive fan of Chase U. I mean, like you said about the swearing and the professor kind of way, I loved it, and Andre Chase is a very, very smart wrestler. If people get him in and put him on the backstage, I think they got gold, in my opinion. Apollo Crews. This one shocked me a bit because he came back from injury and they did nothing really with him apart from a US title challenge. What's your take on Apollo?
With Apollo, it took them a decade to release the guy because he hasn't done much ever since coming back from his injury. And I'm going to tell you, when you get injured, you start becoming a liability for WWE. And they take that into consideration and they just want to be safe. But with Apollo Crews, he went over to NXT a couple years ago and fought for the NXT championship against Braun Breaker at NXT Deadline. He competed in the Nigerian street fight at WrestleMania against Big E for the Intercontinental Championship back in 2021. And then he also was with Akira Tozawa and Titus O'Neil at the time. That was back in 2017. And it just sucked that he got released. But I feel he's going to have a bright future ahead of him wherever he goes. And that's just basically it.
I love Apollo run in WWE. I apart from the injuries obviously, but I love the just watch it. He's one of those wrestlers where you could just watch and never feel bored. He was so entertaining to watch. Eric Cornell title run, US title run. Um, they're not they weren't boring runs. He was open champion. I just don't think WWE had anything for him. But whoever gets him, for me, is one lucky bastard because he is so talented, and I could see him going to Major League Wrestling, and I think him versus Baron Corbin. I think that would be a good match there. If not, then put him somewhere in like NWA where I think he will exceed so well. This one, is, I looked online last night. I went over the releases, and this one really kind of pissed me off because I think WWE really dropped that fucking ball on this. The Wyatt Six. Yeah, Chris.
I'm going to tell you, when I saw Nikki Cross got released, I says, oh my gosh, she got released. And this is the thing, if they didn't drop the ball with the Wyatt Six and they just said we're releasing just Nikki Cross, I was talking to my work friend about this and he agreed with me. He thought, and I thought, Alexa Bliss would have been the perfect choice to swap Nikki Cross with Bliss to go into the Wyatt Six. And I saw Little Miss Bliss last night on SmackDown. She was very upset about what all went down with the Wyatt Six. And I thought they could have done more with the Wyatt Six. And what I'm going to remember is how they debuted on Monday Night Raw back in 2024 when they took down everything that had the gorilla position, all the murder stuff. That was the best that I've ever seen what WWE Creative has done for the Wyatt Six. And with Bray Wyatt's creation just died right in our front of our eyes last night, that was upsetting to me that they couldn't just leave them be and just continue Bray Wyatt's legacy for the rest of their careers. Now, and I'm going to tell you, WWE spent a lot of money with the Wyatt Six in like Universal when they did that haunted house thing. Now that was a waste of time with that because of they just released them yesterday. And also they were showing the Wyatt Six video packages last night on Friday Night SmackDown for the off-air crowd before Friday Night SmackDown went on the air. It just sucks that they fumbled the ball with this, and we're not going to be seeing the Wyatt Six no more.
Yeah, it's really shit that we don't see the Wyatt Six anymore. Like you said, that debut, I think it does happen sometimes when you can make a really great debut and then the rest is just falls flat. And that's not, I personally, from a fan point of view, I don't think that's on the wrestler. I think that's on the creative. I think creative don't understand. They probably didn't understand where Bo was trying to go, or where Bray was supposed to go. But it was so good to have like the creation of Bray, and it was so good for like the first 3 6 months, and even the last couple of months to see the White Sits at AAA, and they were having fights with Psycho Clown and all that. That was really really good. That was really really fun. Them being tag team champions was really fun. Their matches, the TLC match, the ladder matches, it was just so much fun. And then I even enjoyed the MFT rivalry. It went a bit long, but I enjoyed it.
That was the never-ending feud, and that's why they just gave up on the Wyatt Six right after that.
But they didn't. The reason why they gave it because they had no idea how to handle him. That's why that rivalry went on for like 6 months. Is because they had nothing for him. And I seen it online. I seen this online quite a lot this past 24 hours. Is if Tony Khan and AEW had all the Wyatt Sits, it probably been bigger than ever before. I probably agreed to that point where they probably would let them do the whole creative control. But it's a shame what in WWE when they got the bigger production, the bigger money budget, and they flopped it, like you said. And it's a freaking shame because the Wyatt Sits was money. I could have Nikki Cross didn't even, I can't remember the last time Nikki Cross had a match.
I think she had a match. Maybe it was a while ago.
Exactly. I mean, Nikki Cross is one of the most talented people. She's the smartest people out like in WWE, and to have her not wrestle and just come out in that gimmick, which was a really great gimmick, she done that gimmick so well, is unbelievable. All of them did, but especially Nikki, it not to give her like they teased her when she was looking for the US title for the women's when Chelsea was the champion, and they did nothing for it. Literally nothing. They add a little seed there, and then they don't go on for it. And there's a lot of the releases for the main roster. There is absolutely nothing creative had for him because they just put him in a little seed there, and that's it. For another one, unfortunately, got released. Kairi Sane. She was in a storyline with Io and Asuka, and they released her. A triple threat match could have fed families, and I know that saying is said a lot, but it's freaking true in this. That could have been one of the best SummerSlam or a holdout. Somehow creative could hold out to WrestleMania next year or whatever, but that could have gone so fucking well.
And also with Kairi Sane, that she was, I'm agreeing with you. We've been watching time in, time out. She was in a storyline with Asuka, Io Sky. We were all saying when we were doing our watch alongs, doing Rotz Report, we've been saying Kairi Sane is going to turn on Asuka down the road. And this is the thing. They never capitalized on that. They never capitalized on anything. And
Yeah.
I felt bad for Kairi Sane half the time when Asuka says, Kairi!
Yeah.
I felt bad because I felt Kyrie was a third wheel into this story. And they could have had, and this is the thing, they could have added last weekend at WrestleMania, Asuka, Io Sky, and they could have done the heel, they could have done the turn with Kyrie Sane turning on Asuka. Then you could have started that story post WrestleMania. Now, what I've been hearing is on X, they've been using a hashtag, we want Kyrie. That is the number 5th in the trending right now in the United States. So hopefully we get Kyrie Sane back just how we got R-Truth back in WWE. If the fans, and I'm going to tell you this, come Monday night on Raw, if the fans starting to chant and they do like an Asuka segment and they start chanting, we want Kyrie, we want Kyrie, we want Kyrie, bada bing, bada boom, Triple H and TKO has, they got to come to an agreement and says we have no choice. We're bringing Kairi Sane back, and I hope it does happen.
I hope that scenario does happen, but the last week of wrestling with TKO and that, I don't believe it'll happen. I really don't. I have no trust in TKO anymore. But if you're in a storyline, literally 5 days ago, you're in a tag team match with Oscar against Rio, and you put on a great performance. Her insane elbow on the outside onto Rhea Ripley, I think. Yeah, and it was a great performance by her, and they let her go where they could have done so much with that storyline, and they, like you said, they teased it. They doing that not just in this storyline, but they're doing it in storylines now where people ain't released, and it just doesn't hit. People do like some fans do really like long storylines and long-term storylines, and that's fine. But some of them just wants the fight, just wants it straight away, and they should have done it with saying it. It's just it doesn't sit well that they had all that time to hit that trigger and they never did, and I don't think we'll ever get that triple threat match, or at least that storyline hit.
Never say never in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, but that's twice now she's been released. That's like getting dumped by X and you just keep going back and keep going back. I don't think Carrie would do that. And she says she's got time. She'll sell in her own time, so I don't think she's gonna come back to wrestling in that time. And if I was her, I will go somewhere that she knows she'll feel more appreciated, and it's just the storyline that they had just gets me and it pisses me off. Including this one, Selena and Aleister Black. Aleister Black beat Randy Orton a couple weeks ago. They're building Aleister Black. I think Black was going to be the one to face Cody, and now going to be a big storyline. And a lot of fans online were like, "Holy shit, this is going to be really good." And I like the partnership of these two, and they fucked it. And now they're released, and I don't understand because these were on TV just a week ago.
And also with Aleister Black and Selena, they were watching what's been going on with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, and Pat McAfee. They were in the background. And this is the thing. I was hearing this. If they didn't get Pat McAfee into this storyline with Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes last weekend at WrestleMania, they would have had Aleister Black be the one to, and that's what I was reading up today. But, and I'm going to tell you, Randy Orton and Aleister Black were talking to one another on a couple of episodes of Friday Night SmackDown. And we have to thank Aleister Black for giving us the version of Randy Orton that we've always wanted him to be. The vicious, the Viper himself. And we got it. We got Randy in the palm of our hands, and we are now seeing the real version of the Viper Randy Orton. So we got to give Aleister Black credit on that one.
It just pissed me off when someone's in a storyline midway through and they decide to release them where I say this a lot in this bit, but they have money with Black. Black come back after coming from AEW, which he did really well there. He comes back in WWE and all straight off he's having great matches with Damian Priest and elsewhere.
And that was a never-ending feud right there.
Yeah, but that makes sense because that match was actually, each match was a banger. And the payoff was a banger. But it's with someone that wins the US title, like Selena did, and she is, as a fan and watching her all, every time she's on TV, she was always improving, and yet she was really good with Black, and they screwed it. They absolutely freaking screwed it. That's another storyline that they screwed.
And I'm going to tell you this, with Aleister and Selena, I wouldn't be surprised if, I know he has 90 days. Main roster has 90 days.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Aleister Black and Selena Vega goes to AEW and we can get the House of Black reunion with him, Malachi Black, and you could bring Buddy Matthews back. And also Selena Vega would be a part of that faction.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, but for me, I love my indie wrestling. I would want probably at the House of Glory or something like that, but put Karen Cross and Scarlett versus Black and Selena. Give me that match because that is just money right there. I think as soon as that 90 days up, I think a lot of people are going to do that tag team match, that missed tag team match, and it's going to be a banger wherever it goes. Santos Escobar. What's your take?
On Santos, he was in LWO. He was in Legado del Fantasma with Angel and Berto. I know he was injured and he was doing Triple A stuff. And personally, I don't even watch Triple A, so I didn't see what he was doing over there. But it's a missed opportunity for him to come back to the main roster to see what he can do. And they just messed up big time with him.
I'm a massive fan of Santos. I love him in LWL. I loved him before with the Fantasma. everything WWE gave him, he made it really good. He was brilliant in out in AAA against Wagner Jr. for the Latin American title. That was a great rivalry. Everything WWE is given to him, Santos freaking makes it good, and yet they still release him again. I think it's to the point now that whoever gets wherever Santos goes next, he will be up there with the world champion like storylines because he is that talented and that creative and genius that I think he's one of those. I think you said people go to AEW. If he went to AEW, I think he will kill it over there.
And he could have matches with Tommaso Ciampa. He could have a match with Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, Hangman Adam Page, Will Ospreay,
Claudio.
Claudio Castagnoli. He could have a match with Hook. He could have a match with Okada, Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, there's all those talented. Some wrestlers are built for promotions. Like Undertaker was definitely built for WWE. John Cena was built for WWE. Roman Reigns is built for WWE. Kenny Omega is built for AEW. Will Ospreay is built for AEW. AJ Styles was built for TNA, really. For me, Santos is built for AEW. And if he's put in there, I could see him making so much money and so much, such a big draw and have some classic matches. In my head now, him versus what's his name? Badino. Yeah. Oh, yeah, even Ricochet. I mean, they got history there. Just give us that. But yeah, just put him in AEW. If he does go there, it will be fantastic. I don't understand this because they made the tag team division really, really good on SmackDown. This is the last one. The Motor City Machine Guns. Soon as they come in, third show or second and third show, they win the tag titles off of MFTs. What's your take on? I think this one was more shocking, the Motor City Machine Guns, because they were in a freaking storyline also with Johnny Gargano.
And that sucks right there because we were speculating that, they can make a faction with Johnny Gargano. That faction could have been something, but Motor City Machine Gun's contract was expiring. So they just said, hey, we're not renewing it. So you guys are released. And they also got 90 days. And I'm going to tell you this. I think they are going to go to AEW. I feel AEW would be a perfect fit for Motor City Machine Guns. And they were in AEW before when they were competing at AEW All Out. I'm going to say that was in 2022, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel they do got connections over in AEW. So I think AEW will be a good fit for them. Or if you want to have ratings, I would put them back to their roots. I would have them go to AMC on Thursday Night Impact and have them return to TNA Wrestling. Motor City Machine Guns and TNA, that could work, and you could continue building. You could have the ratings be good if Motor City Machine Guns come back to TNA Wrestling. Or if not, they could show up in AEW, and they could have matches with the Rascals, the Young Bucks, FTR, and that's just basically it. And also Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Yeah, I mean that would be a great one. Like I said there, I would say Motor City Machine Guns must go back to TNA. For me, if they go back to TNA, I think Motor City Machine Guns versus the Hardys one more time. I would love that. Um, but I kind of want them to go on the circuit. I want them to go on the indie circuit because there's a lot of tag teams on indies that really, really would love to face the Motor City Machine Guns. For me, like Backseat Boys, they're one of them. Just so many on the indies that would love. I'd love to see them over here. In the UK, Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Guns. That is just money all day long and be a banger of a match. And Motor City Machine Guns against Sunshine Machine. That was once again another great match. Hopefully if they do a UK circuit, that'd be brilliant. But I kind of agree with you and Nugget. I think it'll definitely be TNA back again, in my opinion. And if they do go to AEW, oh, I don't know. If we get the Young Bucks versus Motor City Machine Guns one time, I'm happy with that. If it's just a one night stand, I'm happy with that. Motor City Machine Guns are a legit tag team. There, the System are merely a makeshift tag team. Yeah, because now Brian Myers have one tag team go with two different partners. I think they got the Freebird rule, which has been used quite a lot now. I think they got the Freebird rule. At first, I thought Myers would be a tag team champ. Has one half of the most professional wrestling cast. Yes, I love that. Yeah, with all these releases, and we could speculate and where they might go, but it's kind of different now than it was 10 years ago. Where 10 years ago it was just WWE, because 10 years ago in 2016, TNA was shit to the dogs. WWE was all right. There was no AEW. There was New Japan, but now indies are so red hot. You could go to somewhere like Major League Wrestling. You could go to Maple Leaf. You could go to GCW. Like you said, Rotz, TNA, AEW. It's there's so many options now, and somewhere in the country is unbelievable. But Ross, what's your take on all the releases and what do you think will come of them?
Well, before I want to say anything, I saw a tweet from Matt Cardona back on March 3rd. I think it was last year, to all of the recent releases. You all have three choices, and I'm leaving you guys with this. Number one, you could fade into absurdity. It's OBSCURITY.
Obscurity.
Number two, you could coast off of your WWE name. So you could build a brand new name, build your character, however you want to use it. And the third one is you got to work your butt off, reinvent yourself, make a lot of money as possible, and most importantly, just have fun. Just have fun in professional wrestling. And hey, if you're in 90 days or 30 days, you have freedom. You have the time now. You can make money, do whatever that you are inspired to do. Go and do it for the next 30 or 90 days. Whenever your contract is up and you want to get back into the wrestling scene, go right ahead. If not, then there's other things you can do outside of professional wrestling. Go into music, going into acting, whatever you want to do. Just have fun, make money, and just enjoy life to the fullest. So I'm leaving you guys with that, and with all what my take on the recent releases. It sucks. It's a business. And TKO, you messed up big time, and you just need to stay away from WWE and the WWE creative process once and for all. I am using the words from our undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Stay out of WWE's business once and for all. TKO, you don't know what you guys want to do with creative. That is Triple H's stuff. Leave Triple H's stuff alone.
I just want you to answer this question.
After Kyrie, this is from Tiger Lagger. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the group. After Kyrie Sane got released, I wonder how they will put that in a storyline, because before Sane got released, she was still in an ongoing storyline.
How do you think they're going to make that into a freaking storyline?
I think they will make it into a storyline, because if fans are chanting, "We want Kyrie, we want Kyrie, we want Kyrie," guess what's going to happen? I feel if they're going to build Asuka versus Io Sky, and I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that match for WWE Backlash 2 weeks from tonight on Saturday, May 9th, and they give Kyrie Sane a call and says, "Hey, we're bringing you back. Here's what's going to happen." You could do the turn. Kyrie Sane, you could have, I'm just going to use it. It could be like another Max Man type of storyline, or what they did with R-Truth at Money in the Bank. Have like a hoodie. You could do like the spinning back fist, and then you have the pop. Kyrie Sane returns and costs Asuka the match, and Kyrie Sane is back in WWE where she rightfully belongs.
For me, I think it'll just be Asuka got her fired. I think creative will be so lazy that they'll just get Kyrie goes, "Oh yeah, she lost that match. I couldn't deal with her anymore. She's freaking fired." Literally, that's what I think will happen. I think, yeah, creative is so lazy at the moment. I think that will happen. Well, unfortunately, this happens every year after WrestleMania. It's really shit as a fan, and obviously even more shitter as the person that's being released. With that, I'm sad they're gone from WWE, but I'm kind of looking forward to where they go next. And that's so great that we have all those availability, not just as fans, but the wrestlers have those availabilities also. That's not a bad idea. What like I just said, don't forget Drake Maverick back in 2020. They put his release into a storyline, and even if he didn't win the Cruiserweight Championship journey, it was the tournament, wasn't it? Paul Levesque brought him back in the end. Yes, because he has so much hype. He worked his ass off for that last 3 weeks. That's a great example.
Also another good example, Samoa Joe, when they released him back in 2021, they brought him to be the NXT general manager at that time.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. Um, thing is though, like we're saying, like I said on 2020, and you just said in 2021,
Yes.
creative is different in 2026. And so they probably ain't got the same writers, and probably some of the writers are so freaking lazy now that they probably won't come up with any of that shit. Because it's TKO. With that, let's put a blanket on this special episode of the Rotz Report. It's shit that it's got releases and stuff like that, but that's the one.
He wasn't the general manager. He was William Regal's assistant and enforcer.
Yes, because it was Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly that kicked off, and William Regal got hurt, I think, in that, and Joe stepped in, and yeah, Joe being Joe. All right, Ross, where can people find you, my son?
Where people can find me at is on my Instagram, CMROTC_1316. My Facebook, Christopher Rotz. My X account, CRotz24. I always have a blast here on my podcast, Rotz Report. We're going to be concluding episode number 29. We're almost halfway there to 50, and I'm looking forward on hitting the milestone number 50. Always enjoy life. Always enjoy professional wrestling. Treasure your mentalities. Always think about the positive instead of the negative. And if you're just having a bad day and you just need somebody to talk to, feel free to hit one of us up and we'll help you out the best way possible. And we'll give you the advice that you need to make through the life situations that comes your way. And just always be yourself. Think about the positive. Don't think about the negative. Always say yeah to NoDQ.com. Follow Wrestling Pedigree on all social media platforms.
Absolutely. Ross Report will be back next week. Ken? Yes, next Friday. We have Wrestling Pedigree podcast straight after this show. If you're watching this live, we'll be discussing WrestleMania 20. And we will have Wrestling Roundtable returning tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern for WrestleMania Fallout and to talk more about the releases. So, from myself and Rotz, thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting and everything like that. And we'll see you next week for the Ross Report. Have a good evening.